Welcome to the heartbeat of the city. Hear the rhythm of the streets. Vicinity FM 95.3.
This is Vicinity 95.3 FM Ikejile Ijisha. The time is 12 o'clock. I am Paul Eteng with Global News. First, the headlines. President Bola Tinubu calls for collaboration among security agencies to tackle insecurity. African Development Bank approves 19.6 million euros for Cape Verde wind power expansion. And Israel-Iran trade strikes as conflict escalates. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has emphasized the need for a wide-range approach to tackle the country's evolving security challenges to align with present-day realities. In enhancing collaboration and intelligence sharing among security agencies, the president made a call during a one-day legislative dialogue on constitutional review and national security architecture, organized by the House Committee on Constitutional Review in collaboration with the Office of the National Security Advisor in Abuja. Represented by the Minister of Defense, Abubakar Badaru, said the security dialogue is imperative owing to evolving security challenges. In his remarks, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, reaffirmed the 10th National Assembly mandate to review existing laws. The Speaker, who was represented by the House Leader, Professor Julius Ehomvere, said that the dialogue was timely, given the urgent need to review and update existing laws to address current and emerging security threats. Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASAN, has urged the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority to enforce a transparent pump pricing template. President of the union, Festus Osifo, made the call at a World News Conference in Abuja, noting it became necessary, saying petroleum marketers have continued to exploit Nigerians through inflated fuel prices, even with a decrease in the price of crude oil. At the time, crude oil was being sold at $16 per barrel. Petrol pump prices remain high between 850 naira and 900 naira per liter, leaving consumers at a loss. While Osifo attributed the pricing inconsistency to the failure of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority to effectively monitor and regulate pricing under the deregulation framework. He called on body to begin publishing pricing templates to ensure transparency and to prevent arbitrary pricing under the deregulated system. Nigeria Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, has said the exit of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, the three alliance of Sahel states from the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has not affected trade and bilateral relations among countries in the sub-region. Addressing a press conference on the forthcoming West African Economic Forum to be hosted by Nigeria, Tuga said this is no notable distortion in trade and relations between the rest of the countries in ECOWAS and departing AES countries. As Nigeria still runs the Niger Joint Commission on Trade before the neighboring country left ECOWAS. On the summit scheduled for 20th and 21st June, the minister expressed Nigeria's readiness to host the inaugural event aimed at showcasing West Africa to the rest of the world. And away from Nigeria, Catholics from Goma and relatives of the Congolese custom worker Kositi watched with pride the beatification of their compatriot by Pope Leo at the Vatican in Rome. Beatification is the formal announcement in the Roman Catholic Church of someone who died living a holy life. Recall the Bwana Choi Bin Kositi was kidnapped and killed in 2007 after he refused to accept a bride and allowed rancid rice from Rwanda to be transported across the border. The deceased relative Justin Kenyere Kavuo, who watched the event, said his beatification sent a strong message about justice, honesty, and integrity. The Catholic Church in Goma celebrated him with prayer session organized in his memory. The African Development Bank has approved 19.6 million euros in financing to support Phase 2 of the Kabyolika expansion project in Cape Verde, the country's first renewable energy initiative to combine large-scale wind power with battery energy storage. The project aims to boost Cape Verde clean energy capacity, building on the original Kabyolika project launched in 2012. Phase 2 is expected to produce over 60 gigawatt hours of clean energy annually, reduce reliance on costly thermal generation, and cut carbon emission by approximately 50,000 tons per year. The project supports Cape Verde national targets of generating 50% of its electricity from renewable sources by 2030. This is Vicinity 95.3 FM, Ikeji Leijisha. Global News will continue shortly. For news updates and live streaming, visit our website at vicinity953fm.com.ng. Send us an email at vicinitynewsroom@gmail.com or call 0814-365-8302 for breaking news. You can also follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok at Vicinity 95.3 FM. Israel and Iran have continued to exchange missiles fire for a fifth consecutive day. Tuesday, a new wave of Israeli strike on Tehran hit the state's television's headquarters, killing 3 people. The latest attack prompted both sides to activate missile defense system overnight. The Israeli military said it targeted multiple missiles and UAV sites in western Iran, surface-to-surface missile infrastructure, surface-to-air launches, and drone storage facilities. Shortly after air raid sirens sounded in parts of Israel, loud booms were heard over Jerusalem and Tel Aviv as the Israeli army warned of incoming missiles launched from Iran. Despite mounting calls to de-escalate, neither side have backed off from the missiles blitz that began last Friday, June 13, when Israel launched an unprecedented aerial campaign targeting Iranian nuclear and military facilities. In the meantime, the United States President Donald Trump has urged Iran to resume diplomatic talks, warning that the Islamic Republic is not gaining the upper hand in its ongoing conflict with Israel. The Iranian officials have indicated interest to talk about the escalating hostilities with Israel as the two-side trade attacks. Speaking to reporters at the G7 summit in Canada, Trump stated it was in Iran's best interest to return to the negotiating table without delay, a return to diplomacy. An explosion at the firework factory in central China has left 9 people dead and injured 26 others, as on-site rescue operations continued a day after the incident. The blast occurred at a factory in a village outside Shandong, a city in Henan province. According to reports, the risk of additional explosion going off has hampered response efforts and rescue work ongoing at the scene at a mountainous area with no large water source. The Ministry of Energy Management had sent a working team to Henan to oversee the rescue, while efforts are underway to ascertain the cause of the explosion and to hold those responsible accountable. Industrial accidents are fairly common in China due to vague regulation and lack safety standards. And a bit of sports, Jalen Williams scored a career-high 40 points to lead the Oklahoma City Thunder to a 120-109 win over the Indiana Pacers in Game 5 of the NBA Finals, giving the Thunder a 3-2 series lead. Despite the Pacers cutting an 18-point deficit to just 2 in the fourth quarters, Williams and MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 31 points and 10 assists, sealed the victory. Tyrese Haliburton, battling injury struggle with only 4 points. Game 6 will take place Thursday in Indianapolis, with the Thunder one win away from their first NBA title since 1979. To end global news, another look at the headlines. President Bola Tinubu has emphasized the need for a wide-range approach to tackle the country's evolving security challenges to align with present-day realities in enhancing collaboration and intelligence sharing among security agencies. We told you that the African Development Bank has approved 19.6 million euros in financing to support Phase 2 of the Biolika expansion project in Cape Verde, the country's first renewable energy initiative to combine large-scale wind power with battery energy storage. And lastly, you heard Israel and Iran have continued to exchange missile fire for a 5th consecutive day, Tuesday. A new wave of Israeli strikes on Tehran hit the state's television headquarters, killing 3 people. And just before we go, the last line: all great changes are preceded by chaos. That was Global News. It was edited by OLUWAFUNKE Israel. On behalf of the production crew, I am Paul Eteng. Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned for News Nationwide at 6 o'clock. Good afternoon.
We lead while others follow. We lead while others follow. Vicinity FM 95.3. We lead while others follow. Àwa làgbà wọn. We lead while others follow. Aṣíwájú ni wá. Vicinity FM àwa ni bàbá. We lead while others follow. We lead while others follow. Vicinity FM ní kejìlẹ̀ o. We lead while others follow. Àwa lọ̀gá o. We lead while others follow. Adìẹ funfun àwa ṣá ní bàbá gbogbo. Àwa ní bàbá. Vicinity FM 95.3. Ẹranko tí ó ṣe bí olólàájú kò sí nígbó àjíkẹ́ adé. Ìrìn lákàtà gbérin àwa gòkè á lọ. ìyẹ́lẹ̀ ó máa wò lẹ́yìn ẹyẹ wa lọ́jọ́kọjọ́ nígbàkúgbà bàbá ni bàbá ń jẹ́ lọ́jọ́kọjọ́ nígbàkúgbà bàbá ni bàbá ń ṣe. We lead while others follow. We lead while others follow. Vicinity FM ọ̀gá la jẹ́ Adéọlá Noite.